There's a new LG TV update to talk about.
Oh, here we go again.
What's going on YouTube? Back with another video, and if you couldn't tell from the intro, we're talking LG TVs today because, well, LG, like always, like they always seem to be doing, they're pushing out a new software update for only a segment of their full lineup. And what I mean by that is this is going to be applicable to the C3 and the G3 lineup. Now, what I like to do in these videos is I like to check to see if this has arrived to my particular C3 here, which just happens to be a 42-inch LG C3, which is my desktop display. What I like to do here is check to see if the update's been pushed over the air. So I've got the old LG Magic Remote here that they've been shipping with these TVs for about 20 years now, it seems like. I'm going to press and hold the settings button to get into the menu quicker. Nice delay there, as I said, get in there quicker, right? Go over to support, software update, and I'm currently on software version 03.31.45, and this is actually a surprise to me, considering that this is, I believe, day one of the update being pushed out, if not day zero. It tells me right there I have an important software update available. It's going to be software version 03.33.20. Normally in these videos, I have to manually install it using a USB drive because my displays tend to not get the update over the air for a good week or two after it's been out. But for some reason, LG decided to expedite this one to me. So it's pretty obvious to me that LG's been watching my videos and they want to make sure I have this update right away because it must have some good things in it, right? Right? All right, so from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get the installation started. I'm not going to have you sit with me during installation. If you're new to my channel, typically I install these on camera because, well, there can be times where there's issues during installation. And considering I tend to install these updates day zero or day one, I want to go ahead and let you know if there's any installation problems. And that way you can make an informed decision when it comes to whether you should even attempt the installation if there are going to be problems during the actual install. So I'm going to go ahead and click download and install. I will check back in on this video if I run into any problems. If not, next thing you should see is the new software version on the display. Let's go ahead and get it started. All right, the update just completed. It did take quite a while compared to the last few updates on my displays. This one took just over 9 minutes to complete. So that has me hopeful that there's actually going to be some new features, especially considering this is on the C3, it's not on an older model. So next up from here, it does say it's been installed. It'll be applied when I restart the TV. I'm going to go ahead and get the TV restarted, come back on the other side, and I'm going to kind of go through the menus and see if I notice anything different in a good or bad way. All right, TV has been restarted, although I had to manually turn the TV off and manually turn the TV back on, which is a little bit different than the normal procedure I have with my other displays here in the house. But anyhow, let's double check to make sure the new firmware is on here. So we're gonna press and hold that settings button. Long pause there, not really liking that. Support, software update, and there we go. We're on 03.33.20 now. So because this is essentially day zero, day one, however you want to look at it, the update just came out from LG. Obviously, I haven't had a chance at the time of making this video to go through and really test the settings in here, but I am going to do some basic testing here just to kind of navigate the menu, because sometimes after completing these updates, what you'll find is a very laggy menu and or remote mouse pointer thingy. So what I usually like to do is I like to go into advanced settings, color, and I like to mess with the white balance color temperature slider here. And I keep it on warm 50 for accuracy here, but you know, sorry about your eyes if I burn them out here momentarily, but I'm going to drag this all the way up to cold 50. That looks terrible, but really what I'm looking for here is how well this is moving as I'm holding it. And this looks good to me so far. Let's check another one in here. Let's get all the way back out. Let's go into brightness now. Let's take a look at that. I have it on 88 here. If you're ever curious about why I have some like random numbers going on here for my C3 settings, in case you missed it earlier, this is my desktop display, so I do have things set up a bit different than the other LG TVs in the house. But I'm just gonna go ahead and drag this down. Okay, it gets a lot dark. Got a lot darker, huh? Look at that. All the way up. Okay, not too bad. Slider feels pretty good. There we go. Put that back on 88. Let's take a look through here. Am I seeing anything different? No, not really. Let's click the back button. Things look normal here. Clarity. Not seeing anything different here. I will tell you one thing that would be really nice if this particular firmware update was finally the update that came with a fix for this, and it's the audio bug when it comes to gaming. So I don't use like a sound bar or anything like that. I utilize the TV speakers for this display because again, it's for my desktop purposes. And I do have a PlayStation 5 console in here that I will every so often game on, but I'm mainly using a headset. But where I'm going with this is, in case you are new to LG TVs, or maybe you're looking at buying a C3 or a G3, one thing to be mindful of is, I don't know if this is a bug or just an inherent flaw in the software from LG from the start, and they don't know how to fix this, but there's an issue to where you have to have the sound mode up here in these select modes. You have to have the sound mode on Game Optimizer in order for your picture genre modes to work properly in gaming. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you have a PS5, Xbox, etc. plugged in. When you just tap the settings button, a game dashboard is going to come up here, and I may cut in a little quick excerpt so you know what I'm talking about here. But a little game dashboard pops up, and right in the middle you'll see where it'll have picture modes for different types of game genres you want to play. That's really stupid in my opinion, but it is what it is. The TV's been out for well over a year now. I've yet to see any of these firmware updates fix that. I guess I can hold out hope that one of these will randomly correct that. Probably not. I'm also in the works. If you're new to the channel, I'm working on trying to get a C4 or a G4 in here. I'd be curious to see if the C4 or the G4 comes with that same issue. If you're fortunate enough to have either a C4 or a G4 and you game on it, leave me a comment below and let me know if you have this weird audio thing where you have to have it on Game Optimizer for the audio mode to change your genre modes in the game dashboard. Let me know that. I'd be curious. But that's enough yammering there about that part. That's a little side tangent. Next up here, since I don't really see anything big as far as new features goes in the menus, again, haven't had a chance to test it, and I will do that. Next up from here, let's go ahead and take a look at what actually comes with software update 03.33.20.
Alrighty then. That was a terrible impersonation of Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura. Anyhow, you're here to check out what actually comes with software update 03.33.20. I will remind you this is applicable to the C3 and the G3 lineup only. That's going to be applicable to all sizes in the C3 range, including on the G3, 55, 65, 77, and 83. So if you have any of those displays that falls within what I just said, you're going to be getting this update. But anyhow, let's find out what actually comes with the update. I'm going to start with the one that I have started leaving in this part of the video. Even though I don't see it on LG's website anymore, I'm going to leave it in here until I see a reason not to, and I don't think they're ever going to change this policy. But what I'm referring to is downgrading to the previous software version is unavailable. So I like to mention that in my videos because I can't tell you how many comments I've seen where somebody maybe accidentally installed a firmware update they didn't mean to, or the TV just did it on its own. You know, if you have automatic updates on or whatever, sometimes it'll just fire it on through there one time you turn the TV on. Once you install a firmware update, you can't go backwards. So if it breaks a very important feature on a display that you're used to working and it doesn't now, you're just going to have to wait for the next firmware update and really hope that it's fixed. So it's kind of an unfortunate thing, but it's kind of the gamble you take when installing these firmware updates. But anyway, I like to leave that in here, so be mindful of that. Anyway, the other two things we got in this update, which is a big nothing burger, truthfully, is improvement and fixing minor bugs in software. I guess fixing minor bugs can be exciting to you if the prior software update, which has been out for a while now, broke a feature or two on your TV and you've just been sitting back waiting for a fix to come out. Hopefully this takes care of that issue. I'd be curious to know, have you been having problems with the prior firmware on your C3 or G3? Leave me a comment below if you're having problems with your C3 or G3 on a prior firmware than what's listed here, and I'll do some testing on my own and see if I can get it to replicate what yours is doing, or if it doesn't replicate it, maybe that means it's fixed. So leave me some comments below. But that's going to do it for this video. If you did enjoy the content, I'd appreciate you hitting the like button. It would really help me out a lot. And if you're new around here and you enjoy staying up to date on your electronics when it comes to software updates, things like that, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell so you don't miss my future uploads. But with all that being said, until the next one.